Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about breaking into tech in 2024. This video is for you if you are completely new to tech. You just ran into someone on Instagram or TikTok that works in tech and was talking about how they're self-taught and they broke into tech and they have an amazing job and they're making all this money. So if you're that person and you're like, I want to break into tech, I want a job in tech, this video is for you. I am going to share with you all 3 steps, easy steps that you can follow to break into tech, to get a job in tech. So let's get started. The first and most important thing is you need to do your research. Nowadays, researching careers and jobs and what you do is so easy. One of the easiest and quickest ways that I recommend is literally jumping into ChatGPT and asking ChatGPT, what jobs are there in tech? If you have already a career, if you have a job already, research what skills. For example, I come from an education background. I was a teacher before I broke into tech, so I would research what skills that a teacher has are transferable to a job in tech. That way you can have an idea of what skills you can already use for a job in tech. There are so many different jobs and not all of them require coding. So if that is one of your questions, not all of them require coding. However, some of them do, and learning to code is a superpower, is really important, and I definitely recommend it. Definitely try to learn at least one programming language. It'll definitely be helpful when you're looking for a job, when you're presenting yourself at job interviews. It gives you a leg up. Now, let's say that you don't want to move into a position that it's kind of similar to a career that you're doing, or maybe you're 18 years old and you're not coming from a career. My recommendation is to learn JavaScript, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and go the web development route. In my opinion and in my experience, it is easier to break into tech through the web development route. That's what I did. I came from an education background. I had zero knowledge, zero background in technology and coding. I didn't even know what that was. And I learned HTML, I learned CSS, started freelancing while learning JavaScript, learned JavaScript, then started applying to remote freelance jobs, contracts. And that's how I broke into tech. That's how I got my start. And I feel like it's an easier because nothing worth doing is easy, but it's an easier route than, let's say, maybe data science. Not saying that data science is extremely difficult. It's definitely possible. I know some self-taught data scientists. However, I feel like a lot of the jobs that are for data scientists do require some background in sciences. So I know a lot of YouTubers or people on YouTube make videos of how to break into tech without a computer science degree, but those people have either biochemistry degrees or chemistry degrees, or they have chemical engineering degrees. So they have a background in science, and that in itself gives them a leg up. If you have no background in technology or in science like I did, I didn't have any of that. I have a bachelor's degree in sociology and English literature. I worked as an English teacher for about 5 years, and that's my complete back. For me, it was easier to come through the web development route. So I definitely recommend that route. And I have a lot of videos on that. Check out my channel if you're interested in learning web development. I have a lot of videos that can help you out. Once you've done your research and you have an idea of what career path you want to follow within tech, or at least you have an idea of where to get started, what you need to learn, then obviously the next step is to learn those skills. I recommend online resources. That's the route I follow. That's the route a lot of people follow. You can, of course, go back to school and get a computer science degree, or you can go to coding boot camps. There are also online coding camps or online coding courses that you can purchase. I am 100% self-taught, 100% free self-taught. All of the resources that I've used to learn to code and to break into tech have been online and have been free. I have never had a computer science. I have never been to school to learn computer science or any type of coding course. I've never taken an in-person course, tech related. I have actually, I don't want to lie to you all. So I have paid for 2 courses on Udemy, which I never finished. One of them is a web developer course. I will link it down below. It's really outdated, so I wouldn't recommend it. But it was, I don't even know how many hours, like 70 hours. I don't remember. It was a really long course, so I never completed it. But that's all I've paid for, 2 Udemy courses, which were like €7 each, like 14 euros in total. And then I've never been to a boot camp. I've considered applying to boot camps, but I am a mom of 3 kids, so I've never been to a boot camp. So it is 100% possible to learn the needed skills online with free resources. I have a video, if you're interested in the web development route, I have a video talking about the online resources that I recommend and that I personally use and that I love. One tip that I will give you all, if you are looking into online resources to learn to code or to learn the needed skills to break into tech, is to think about the way the platform works and go for the more immersive platform, the more immersive course. As an example, which I always talk about them, is Scrimba. I love Scrimba. Also Free Code Camp. I love Free Code Camp. I started with Free Code Camp. That's where I learned HTML and CSS and even JavaScript, so I love them. I also love Scrimba. Their platforms are immersive and they have an amazing community that you can reach out to, that you can talk to, that really push forward and propel your learning journey. So for example, Scrimba, as you're learning, as you're coding, as you're going through a course, you're literally doing things on the platform. You'll watch a video and then you have to complete something, and it's the same thing with Free Code Camp, and that's why I love those 2 platforms. I always recommend it, whether you're trying to do web development or even data science, if you want to learn Python or JavaScript or C+. I'm not sure if Scrimba does mostly front end, but they're great with that as well. But I definitely recommend that. However, I'm not gonna say don't go to a coding boot camp, because maybe that is like the best route for you. So definitely do your research as to what is the best way to learn the skills that you need. So that is step number 2. And now moving on to step number 3, which I think is one of the most important steps, is to build a portfolio website. I talk about this so much, I know, and it's just like something that I want to get through to everyone. You have to have a portfolio website, especially if you're not going the bootcamp route, especially if you're not going the computer science or going back to school route. You have to have a portfolio. Why? Because that is going to give you some type of credibility. If you're coming through a self-taught route, an online self-taught route, there's no way for an employer to validate that you know what you say you know, that you've done what you say you've done. And the only way to do that is through a portfolio, or nowadays through an online presence. So build a portfolio website. You can initially build it with WordPress if you still don't know how to code, and then as you're building projects, add them to the website. And then once you know how to code, build your own website with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Or if you're considering a job that doesn't require coding, you still should have a portfolio website. If you are considering UI and UX design, or product design, or project management, or social media, there are a lot of social media jobs in tech as well, or just any of the other jobs, have a portfolio. It is so important. That is the last and most important step that you need to do. Those are the 3 important steps, the 3 steps that you need to take if you want to break into tech. If you follow these 3 steps, you are definitely going to be a step closer to breaking into tech, whether that is the freelancing route, whether that is the remote route, whether that is getting an actual job in an actual tech company. Those 3 steps are definitely going to help you. And if you are interested in freelancing in tech, I recently uploaded this video. Don't forget to check it out. It's extremely helpful. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions at all. I will be more than happy to help you all. And have a good day. Bye. See you in the next one.
Always takes too long.